Ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you again to another session of our Elite Mastery. Today I have the pleasure and the honor of having one of the most amazing lady entrepreneurs here. Thank you so much, Mrs.Sadia Butt, who is also a client of ours, and I got to know her quite well over last week, and I invited her to share some of her success stories and some of her failures as well. And so welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for coming.
Here.
Thank you. One of the things that I loved about yourself was that we were running a meeting and your children were all over the place. Okay, so I thought, how does this lady juggle everything? Because you got your kids, you're a wife, you have different hats in a day, right?
Yes.
And you just don't have one business, you have several businesses. You are your wife and you're a mother of four beautiful children.
Yes.
So how do you balance it all?
I kind of allot my day, so and then I just kind of just go with the flow. Basically, I don't add like too much pressure on myself that I want to do this work in this many hours, and then I want to give this time to the kids, and so I kind of plan it accordingly. With a little toddler in the house, there's no fixed time for anything, so I make time whenever I can, and it could be in the night, in the morning, in the afternoon. I can work, and the good thing about my work is I can work from home. I can go to the office when I have the chance. It's a flexible situation, so it works out
how
well.
do your days start? When do they finish? How do you juggle it all? Going to the office with a toddler, talking to staff, clients, building businesses.
The day basically starts early in the morning with the little one, and then my older kids go to school. So I start early. Once I kind of don't think about work until at least things are settled at home, and once that's done, I start my work.
Usually midday or mid-morning?
No, early. It's about morning, of course. That's the time when everybody's fresh to work and do whatever they have to do. So I do start my work around 10ish, 9:30, 10 on a regular business day, and I usually start with all updates from staff. I have an office located out of Dubai. I communicate with them. I communicate with my staff here. So we kind of, plan the day out, plan what's going on, update on things. And then I have this style where I just kind of give specific instructions in point by point, and I try to take a follow-up later once I get the chance. And it kind of just flows, and then I make time for a workout here and there as well. Then I take the baby out as well for an outing because he needs an outing before he goes for a nap or lunch.
So you're a hands-on mom.
Yes, 100%. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
You said before we started this recording, you mentioned that you work with your husband.
Yeah.
Have you always worked with your husband?
No, I haven't. I've worked for a family business, which is garments. We make garments, manufacture from A to Z, from stitching, dyeing, knitting, embroidery, everything. Usually it's knitwear that we're doing for, brands like Abercrombie, Ralph Lauren, Gap, etc., all mostly US brands. Some Spanish or UK brands as well, like Bershka or Topshop, stuff like that. So my experience with that was for a few years until I moved from Pakistan. And then I was working as some developmental work here in Dubai as a developer. Also, I had a jewelry brand that I started when the market crashed. Had a lot of free time on my hands, so I started a fashion brand, which has done quite well. It's called Rocks and Ice. And we do like funky jewelry, funky clothes, stuff like that.
Clothes, not just jewelry.
Yeah, some clothes, like collections, but mostly jewelry. Then when my husband and I used to go to his office time to time and oversee things in his business. He's got a security manning business in Dubai. I used to look at that. Then the whole idea actually emerged from there. This whole idea for IT. Since they do security guards, we supply to hotels all over Dubai. So we kept having trouble finding security guards to come from Pakistan, India, Nepal, Africa. It was hard to coordinate, and there were these agents that would bring them, and there would be a lot of issues with that, and we just couldn't figure out. There's so many people looking for jobs, and they just don't know how to. We don't know how to get to them. So we kind of talked about it, and we came up with the idea that if we had some kind of online portal where it wasn't just like a headhunter portal like you normally would see, some portal where they can actually apply for themselves instead of paying the agents thousands of dirhams just to get them the job at a certain place. Because by the time they'd come to us, the guards would, they'd be broke, in debt. They'd be
Desperate.
Frustrated already once they reached the job. Their level of frustration, even when they started a new job, was really high. They were already mentally stressed. So we couldn't figure out, we're giving them a job, we've given them an opportunity, but they're under so much pressure. And that's when you're like, how do you get somebody to come and work for you and be happy and thankful they've got a job? So that's when we thought, there's no way that they can just come and apply themselves or look for a job themselves without having to pay these hefty amounts that they spend the whole 1 year paying back. So that salary that they made is going to the company who bought them. They pay 6,000-7,000 for an agent.
Crazy.
So we just talked about it, and we were like already on this idea that, IT is the way to go now. IT business is the way to go. It's like the new world, factories like we had, or, our service business that we're doing. It's tough in this time, circumstances change. So we're like, what's doing really well right now? IT is doing well. Everybody's like getting ahead, and the world is operating now entirely online. So that was when we first came up with our first idea, which was the workgenies.com.
Work Genius.
Yeah, the Work Genies. So we thought, okay, kind of like, it's your genie, it's your wish is going to come true here, basically. You're going to
Genies.
Yeah, genies.
Genies, not genius. Genies.
Genies, yeah, the word genies. And there's a little genie lamp that goes up when you're searching.
Clever.
Yeah. So that's what we decided, that we would open an IT company now on the side, and we hire our own back-end, front-end staff. We won't go, because in the past we've done work with websites, we've made
Outsourced people.
Outsourced, and it's always been frustrating. It's been expensive. And you get burnt out at some point. You get burnt out from the whole process, and then your whole idea kind of loses its traction and loses its fun. I had that experience when I made my Rocks and Ice website. I wasn't happy. So I said to my husband, Salman, I said, well, we have to have our own team. If we're going to do anything and we're going to do any kind of development, it has to be with our own developers, our own graphic designers, our own front-end developer, our own back-end developer. So that's how this whole thing came along. First of all, we started the design on the Work Genies platform. And then along the way, I was like, okay, why don't we develop an app too for both? And then I came along with the idea, why don't I develop my app as well? So that's how the Les Femmes app came into shape.
We're gonna, if you don't mind, we're going to come back now. Let's go back. Thank you so much. We're going to go a little bit further back.
Yeah.
So your parents were entrepreneurs?
Well, my father, he was a engineer for a British company. And he worked for that company for quite a long time, maybe 17, 18, 20 years. But he obviously wanted to be a businessman. So I lived in a few countries when I was younger. I lived in Hong Kong, Taiwan, UK, Scotland. That was his job, moving around, basically. Then he decided he wanted to start his own work. So we moved back to Pakistan, to Lahore, which is our hometown. And that's where he used his entire savings, basically, to set up this factory. Garments factory,
And he didn't have any contacts in US? Or did he just start it all from scratch?
He just saw a niche in the market. At that time in Lahore, the knitwear industry was booming. People tell you, oh, there's too much already in the market and everything. But if you're good at what you do, it doesn't matter if there's too many in the market. So he had that philosophy.
And the population is growing, right? So the demand is growing and people want clothing. And so were you born then when he did this? When he started this factory?
Yeah. I was
traveling.
about 12 when I moved back to Lahore. So I was 1 when I left Pakistan.
So what did you learn from that experience, age 12? Your father investing everything, the atmosphere in the house, Is he still with us, your father?
No, he passed
Oh,
away
I'm
a
sorry
few
to
years
hear that.
ago.
I'm
yeah.
sorry to hear that. So, was there stress in the house? How did you feel when you look at him as an entrepreneur? Do you think it was good memories or?
No, I felt that, well, I guess I felt that he was always built for that because he was very hardworking and very, like, he was a perfectionist, basically. So I already kind of understood that
This is
whatever he's
calling.
going to do, he's going to make it work. And he had that sense of responsibility. He had 4 kids. He had just, and he was very valued in the company he worked for. They paid my mother pension till just July this year.
Yes.
He was such a valued guy there that company was paying pension for
Many,
his
many
whole
years.
life.
Yeah. Amazing.
Till she passed away in the summer. My
Oh,
mom
your mom.
passed
Oh,
away
I'm sorry
too.
to
Yeah.
hear that. Right.
So during lockdown, but so basically, till that moment, they were sending her his pension. So he was already that guy. Everybody knew that about him already. So they kind of knew that he's going to put his hands on it. It's going to turn to
Sure.
gold.
And is that factory still going?
Yes, that business. We do like about 70 to 80,000 garments a day. It's one of the largest integrated knitwear units in Asia, and it's gone up recently because of COVID. There's been issues, but generally it's been doing excellently.
And your siblings are running the company, or?
Yes, my brother and my sister are running the company because they live there. So
Sure.
I ran the yarn dyeing unit for a few years.
What's a yarn dye?
Well, what you do is when you're knitting like a striped fabric or you're knitting fabrics with design, you need to dye the yarn first instead of the fabric. So it's a very intense process. It takes a lot of steps, and so we kind of set a separate factory up for that, to fulfill orders for that.
You run that side?
Yeah, I was the managing director for that in my early 20s, and I managed to get that company in a profit in 1 year. It was already running in a profit in 1 year.
Do you miss it?
I miss home. I mean, I miss Lahore. I miss my hometown. I grew up there, so I miss it. But I've always been able to go back and forth. It's so close by.
So how long have you been in Dubai?
I've been in Dubai about 17 years.
And how long have you been married? Or when did you meet your husband?
I met my husband around 12 years ago. I was married previously, and I had moved to Dubai with
Do you have children
3. Yeah.
from your previous man? Wow.
Yeah.
So you got teenagers or older
Yes,
than
I've
teenagers?
got 3 teenagers from
Amazing.
previous marriage, and then from my
The toddler.
marriage now, I've got a baby.
Cute.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah, it's wonderful. He's like the toy of the house.
Wow.
And then the elder siblings are just having a blast.
There are no half anything in your house, I guess. They're all full on
Yeah.
brothers and sisters.
Yeah,
Amazing.
because my eldest daughter, she just turned 20.
Amazing.
And she's back from college at the moment because of COVID. So she's around. My other daughter and son are around. They're going to
Same
school.
as us. I have a 25 and 26-year-old and a 12-year-old and a 6
Oh, okay.
from different mums.
Oh, okay.
First wife, second wife. And they
Okay.
get on so well. There's no half brother, half sister.
Yeah,
There's so much love in
Oh
there.
yeah, no, we're like one. I mean, we're a complete family. With the baby coming, the whole families come together.
Amazing.
Yeah. So,
Amazing. Oh.
so I met my husband here in Dubai, and that was about maybe 10, 11 years ago. I was a single mom. I was running a company
kids.
here. Yeah, 3 small children. So running a company. Again, a family business. I was handling some of the garments, import, export to Middle East area. And then also I was handling this developing company my father wanted to start. So I was working at the time.
So
as
your
well.
father didn't stop. He kept growing. He kept wanting
Yes.
more. What drove him? Because obviously he was successful. What did he? Because you got the same. You're successful, but you want more, bigger.
He's just an ambitious guy. He had a gift to get things done. Like comparable amount of energy every day. He just would get up and want to work. He was suffering from cancer. He still wanted to work. So he's just that.
So his passing didn't come as a surprise. He was suffering from cancer.
No, he wasn't well. He had a stroke. It was difficult for him. Yeah.
Strokes are horrible things.
Yeah.
My
I don't think he
mother-in-law
would
had a
want
stroke.
to go that way, but
Uh-huh.
you don't know what's going to happen.
Sure,
so,
sure.
yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm sure he's looking down and extremely proud of you.
He's a
I'm
driving force in my life. He's the person. He's that guy that gives you that confidence. You know, my siblings, we all have the. It's about how much of that you want to take from him. He would always say that you can do anything a guy could do, because we were 3 girls and 1 boy. So he'd always say, you can do anything a man can do. You'll do even better. You just have to work hard. That's all.
Yeah.
And I know you can do better. I know you can do big things. And he used to give me jobs that I would probably say that no, I can't do. But he would just say, yeah, I know you're going to do this.
I have trust and belief in you.
Yeah. Or I know you're going to do it. I know that you're going to get it done. So then I don't know, somehow I'd find a way to get it done.
So he was right. Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. It's that mentality, isn't it?
Yeah.
That you can do anything. Abundance,
It's
positivity.
it's that whole
confidence.
belief. You have to believe in yourself, and I feel that whole thing where he wasn't an educated man, but he got a job in a British company as an engineer. They trained him, and he was working alongside people who were master's graduates, but he wasn't. So he kind of gave you that confidence that it doesn't matter. If you want to do business, you don't have to be an MBA. If you want to be you want to be good at something, you can learn it and do it. That's what he did basically. So. And
at your peak of your business, how many staff did you employ, or do you employ? Because your company's still growing, you said.
My
garments
IT,
business.
the garments business, we've got, we have about 30,000, 40,000 people working. Yeah,
That's incredible.
it's a source of income for a lot of people.
It's a
There's
small city.
Stitchers, garments, stitchers. There's dyers. There's office staff. There's,
And imagine
designers,
all their family
merchandisers.
are relying on this income.
Yeah.
Probably over 200,000 people, or depending on
Yeah.
business that you
and then
started.
there's outsource work too. There's a lot of. It's a big setup.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Good job he did.
Good.
Yeah.
Outstanding job.
Yeah.
Amazing. So, tell us about, this is where we met, Les Femmes is where we met. Tell us about Les Femmes, and because it's a ladies forum where they can talk, and also you buy and sell pre-loved items. Mm-hmm. Please tell us about your vision.
So basically when, again, the same thing happened, we started the development of the workgenies.com. Everything was going amazingly. And I thought that, okay, we're an IT company now. That's great. We did this. We made a platform. That means we can make more. We can do more. We thought about, okay, do you want to work for people and make websites? I said no, because I don't want to take, that time and effort into something that's just going to pay me temporarily. I want to turn a business into it. So again, for me, what I saw here in the UAE is that a lot of women, they want to, my experience in the last 17 years, is that they want to get out and do things. They want to go meet new people. There's a lot of new people moving into Dubai continuously, and they're kind of lost, and I understand there's a lot of websites and there's a lot of portals for people to meet up. It's, men and women, it's, basically they can meet, they can get to know each other. That's something different. Not everybody's looking for that. Or there's some women that are looking for a place to expand their business, to meet other moms, to find activities to do. They've just moved here. They want to do new things. They want to learn about people. They want to learn about new places. Yes. So I saw this a lot in some women I'd meet on and off, and I'd see that it would be difficult for them to assert, and it didn't matter what class they were from, if they were just, working in a store, or they were, working for somebody, or they were managing their own business, or they're moving in with a family, or they're moving here with a husband getting a job, and it wasn't specific to anybody.
Yes.
So these women, what I saw was that if you group men and women together, it becomes more like a social situation where you're trying to just have people meet up, and then the men kind of dominate the business side of it. And sometimes women, I think they shouldn't, but they might get a little bit held back or intimidated by the whole business talk,
let the men run with it.
Or they just kind of don't get a chance to really, or some people, women are a little bit more conservative, and they're like, I don't know if I want to get into this whole thing, or I want to be part of this whole business meeting or this business meetup or this and that. And there's a lot of businesses that women do that men are not interested in. So I thought, why not do something specific to women? So the original idea was, where we started, was that it was going to be a female networking platform, one of a kind, the first you'll see in UAE, basically. I haven't seen any, there is no women's networking app right now in the GCC.
Yes.
There isn't any, if
Yes.
there's, to be specific.
Yes.
So,
And it's a perfect time as well, because in the old days you could have a networking event, 200-300 people turn up. But now with the COVID crisis, people want to be online.
yes, yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, so it can offer a lot. It has a huge potential in that
Yes.
point of view.
Yes.
So that
Is
was
it free
one thing.
to sign up?
Yeah, it's free. It's free to sign up. You just have to download the app
Right.
from Google or Google
Apple.
Play or App Store. You just have to go Les Femmes, the woman in French, LESFEMMES. You enter that, you'll see it. So
It's
when
a
I
nice
started,
name as well, by the way.
yeah, I kind of wanted it to just be like specific. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
the logo had just women. It had like a network, a kind of a social look to it. So we started like that. What I added to it was I added a location service where you can see other users around you. So if you're looking for someone, you can easily see, okay,
Let's have
I've
a
got other
coffee, let's
users
have a
around.
chat, yeah.
Yeah, or so I had I have on it a group feature. So what you can do is either you can set up your own group or you can join groups. And what you do is you just simply download the app, register, and then you're good to go. So if you join a group, say a hiking group, you can make one of your own, or you can join a ladies tourism group, or you can make a business group, or you can look for business partners, you can look for other moms groups, stuff like that. So
how did you start promoting it? I know you said through friends and you know people.
Yeah.
How did you start getting traffic through your app?
It was word of mouth, and then we started doing a lot of social media advertising and kind of trying our best to get users to come on
Yes.
through Facebook, through Instagram, through maybe a couple, and then we started. And before COVID, we had a few meetups ourselves,
Yes.
where I would invite a lot of the women that I kind of just to encourage that whole environment, who I knew who had small businesses, or who wanted to get to know people, who had like some networking requirements. So I'd invite a lot of them, and we'd have like a small networking meeting, and they'd get a chance to talk about their business with each other,
Yes.
just to encourage the whole essence of the app
Amazing.
itself.
Well, I have 30,000 people on my database, and I
Wow.
own 2 meetup groups. So why don't
okay.
we, after this, next week, have a chat, and I'll promote Les Femmes to our groups.
That would be,
Done. I don't know why it didn't cross my mind.
because
so-
you know what? Honestly, I have not met a single woman who I've showed the app to
Didn't love it.
and said, she hasn't said, okay, I'm going to download it. So getting the word out is actually the most important thing right
Okay.
now.
I have 11,000 people on Meetup and about 27,000 on my newsletter. Done.
Done.
Let's get it, and let's get it promoted. Done.
That's what
I promise you that. I'll do that.
Thank you. Thank you.
I don't know why it didn't cross my mind. And also, it's adding value to my people in my Meetup groups and to my recipients of my newsletters.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah. It's something really fascinating for women, actually. When they see it, they're like, I find they're a little nervous about the technological aspect, but I try to tell them, and I really want to explain that it's a really simple process. It's just like you going on a retail website. You're
Yes.
going there, you're buying clothes, you're
Yes.
putting stuff in the basket, you're buying, it's all the same thing. There's nothing to be nervous about.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, you talked about retail,
Yeah.
because it's not forums anymore, it's not networking anymore. You're adding,
Actually, no. There is still a feature there for networking.
yes, but you're adding to Les Femmes.
There's also a feature to make events, to add people to sponsor your event, to advertise your event. There's a feature to advertise, and then there's a feature to have an event. There's a calendar too for women's events going on around the city that'll tell you about what's going on for women. There used to be, what I've changed now is, there used to be a news feed where you could kind of enter information, update stuff, talk about what you're doing. But I felt that it was a little bit confusing for
Too
you know
much.
how you have to kind of change and improve things as you
Yes.
go along. It became like too much of a mixture that was not grabbing the right way of your attention. It was just distracting you. So what I've done is the newsfeed is more now for us to give information.
Yes.
So we changed that, and then
So you're getting your notifications. If you
yeah.
get,
So we've used it more for that. And then once we were into that, I saw a little bit of a deficiency when it came to networking, because I feel that once there's more women on, yes, the networking will work. People will use it for sure. But at the same time, there needs to be something more, and something that's going to really be beneficial too when you're using it in other ways, not just socially. So during this whole time, I saw that there's a market outside right now, which is really, really popular in Europe, US. I'm not sure about Far East or not, but I know that it's a big market now in US and Europe, and that is basically sustainable fashion. So that's when we came up with the pre-loved items, vintage items for people to sell.
yeah, tell us more, please. What kind of items are they? Is it all clothing, bags and things, or anything?
Well, it's kind of basically based on women who have, it's two sides of the coin basically. It's women who have a lot of clothes and
sell.
items that they use but they don't want to use anymore. And they have good brands. They have brands that, you know, maybe somebody else can't afford to buy new, but they're in
Yes.
great condition.
Yes.
And they would rather sell those and go
And
buy
get some
something
money
else.
for it. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So it's kind of like that. And then there's another type of women who don't want to go out and buy expensive new things. They prefer to buy something unique, something different, something.
They still like the brands, but they don't particularly want to buy brand new.
Yeah. Or even they don't want to buy something that's just available right now that everybody can have. They like something
That's
that's
interesting.
they haven't seen before, that somebody else. So that aspect is there, and the whole new generation of young women, they're really into the whole vintage and sustainability aspect of this.
Wow.
They don't want to. The whole reputation that a lot of companies have gone into having sweatshops
Yes.
or bonded labor,
Yes.
you know, want lower wages for people or child labor. People have become very conscious, and they also are conscious about the environment, about the waste that a lot of big brands are making and mass producing. So there's a whole new generation now that want to reuse stuff. Somebody's worn something 2 times, and you know they don't want it anymore. So it's practically brand new.
True, I'm
Yeah.
the same.
Yeah,
I wear a shirt a couple of times. I don't want to wear it again.
yeah.
So do you actually do e-commerce on your site?
Yes, we do. Yeah.
So if I want to post, let's say a bag,
yeah.
and then I put it for $1,000 or $100, and you want to buy it, you can buy it on the site, or you negotiate outside the.
No, what you do is
Platform.
the process is very simple, and it's geared more towards making everybody happy, both sides happy. What we do is we put the item up. The person posts the item. They can post like 7 to 8 pictures of the item. They can describe the item. They can write down the cost of it, the original cost, and then how much they want for it.
Yes.
When somebody wants to buy it, they can message the person and talk about the item.
Yes.
Then just to be more like, the thing is when somebody's trying to ship something to someone, it ends up costing a lot more.
Correct.
And also, once they get the item and they don't want it, they don't like it, or there's something wrong with it, or the
Yes.
person misrepresented it, if there's not somebody in the middle involved, then there's the likelihood that you're not going to
The transaction
be able to return it or get your money back. So what we do is we are very simple. We take the item from the seller. We if it's a branded item, we have an authentication service.
Wow.
Yeah, we will authenticate the item, make sure that it's real, then send it to the buyer. And then, of course, the buyer will purchase the item. The money is put
To your account.
into the Les Femmes wallet. Once the person's bought it, they have 3 days
To
to
approve it.
decide. And then the money's released
Wow.
within
So
10 days.
logistically, it could be huge for you, a logistical problem, right? Getting all these items and sending them over to somebody else.
No. Actually, you know how all these companies operate. All the vintage or pre-loved item companies, or even say brands operate is that we have our own service, we have our own integrated delivery service, and they in the US or UK it's a lot easier. You print the label at home, you stick it on, and you send it out. Over here, what we're doing is we're having our own delivery staff.
Yes.
They take the item, and they simply just deliver it to the other place. So it ends up costing a lot less for a person to take the hassle of mailing it and going and
And
sending.
it's secure as well.
The
because
whole
your
the whole
company's-
fun of it being easy is gone away. So we take care of that. We charge the shipping, and which is nominal, and a commission.
percentage. What's the
Yeah.
commission on average?
The commission is anywhere between 15 to 20%.
Nothing.
Yeah.
And all that
And that
headache
includes
taken
shipping.
away.
That includes the shipping.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
The items, is there size limitation to the items?
Yeah, at the moment, I mean, we're
Because
since
we
we're
just saw some garden furniture.
early
That's got to
in
be
the-
too big, right?
Yeah, no. Right now, since we're early in the situation, we've tried to gear it more towards things that can be
Luxury
shipped,
items,
like which is
small.
clothes, shoes, bags, jewelry
Sunglasses and
brands,
stuff,
stuff
yeah.
like that. More women's fashion items, or maybe baby clothes, but not bulky items. It's not like a marketplace. It's more like a fashion.
Do you know, I love that. I
sale.
love the idea of taking a headache away. A place item, you find a buyer, your company comes and picks it up, takes care of everything else, the money lands in my account.
Yeah, that's what happens.
Wow.
Like, say somebody wants to buy a bundle from you. We call it a bundle because you know how you want to sell some items and they're all just really cheap. They're not. You don't want to. Nobody's going to buy something for you for 20 dirhams. But yes, you want to sell it. So what you can do is you wear the same size, right? So you group like five to 10 items together.
Yes.
You say this is a bundle of these shirts, these dresses, or these pants in this size, and I'm selling it. So somebody can pay you 100, 200 for it, and they can have it shipped to them.
Amazing.
So it's convenient, and it's actually really helps with the whole wastage thing where you're just throwing clothes away.
Does our department know all this?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I think so.
I
think
didn't
we
know
talk
that.
about instead of like polluting the planet with
Yeah, I love that.
old clothes, So yeah, this whole app gears to women of all aspects of life.
Yes.
That's why it's called Les Femmes, because
Yes.
it's all about women from different walks of life, different types of people.
I like buying stuff for my wife. So I could I log in, register,
Yes.
and then buy?
Yes, I do. We do. We're okay
So
with
I don't
men
have to
logging
pretend
in.
that
No,
I'm a woman.
No. Some women were like, "Oh, there's a man on the app." I said, as long as he's not on the news feed, posting or interacting,
It's okay.
if he's there to buy something or even has a brand that he wants to sell, it's okay. But yeah, it is all women's items in the
Yes,
end of the
yes,
day.
yes.
Or it is women networking. He can't join the groups with women, So
Yes.
it's okay if they register and they want to put something up.
And the woman
because-
can benefit, can't they?
we
Because he
have
could be a
re-
buyer or a
yeah,
seller. So.
because we have a retail section where we have new retail brands. So that's one of our sections as well. So if you're a small business, or even a normal brand, like say Gap or something, and you
Yes.
want to open a store on Les Femmes, you want to
Yes.
target the users on Les Femmes, you can actually do that.
Wow.
You can open the brand store, you can put up your offers, you can do your sale,
A
you can
little
do
bit
everything.
like Amazon, but in a better way.
Yeah, this one.
Because you can be a seller on Amazon.
Yeah, you can
Amazon
be a
takes
seller
a
on Les
commission.
Femmes
Yeah,
too. You can actually
amazing.
be a seller. So we have some brands on right now. They have their jewelry, kids' clothes, stuff like that. And they're new items. They're pricing them. They're posting them. The process is so easy. All you have to do is register. If you're a retail brand, you have to just register with us separately. And with
So there's some due diligence from your
for
side.
a retail brand.
Wow.
But if you're a regular person who wants to sell stuff, you just go on,
Instant.
register, click
Upload
on
the photographs.
yeah, click on My Store. Give your store a name. Start uploading items. We usually give tips on videos on our news feed, and that's like, if you want to sell something, it's better to take a picture of it on a with you're wearing it, you can always crop your face out, you know, and or on a statue or something, or a mannequin, because that way the person knows what it really looks like. It doesn't, yeah. So that's actually the best way to sell your clothes. And shoes, you could just take photos of, make it a nice picture. If there's any flaws in it, take a picture of those as well, so the person's clear on what it looks like, and you're good to go. You can,
amazing.
Yeah.
So where do you see Les Femmes in 3 years and then 10 years?
I see Les Femmes continuously evolving and changing and adding new things to it. That's
You're not going to keep it locally, are you? You're going to expand worldwide, I guess, right?
Yeah, we will go
Hence the
into.
name is.
Yeah, I'm planning to go into other countries as well. Once I have a good database here in Dubai, user base, buying and selling, and business is flourishing, inshallah, I intend to go into another country. But in the next 3 years, I see this app becoming a very common name,
Yes.
used by women all over the UAE.
Yes. What they say is that one challenge to get people to download the app, the other one is to get using it.
That's right, yes.
So it becomes a habit, a new habit of going online, talking to people.
Yes.
And I guess that forum or chat with other groups is that hook for them to keep going back and keep using it.
I feel that women in the UAE need to evolve a little bit. Like, if you go into the same kind of apps in US, which you can't really download here, they're only applicable to US. It's called Poshmark, or you go on to Depop in UK. You see, women there are really, like, it's like a cult following.
Yes.
They're into it. They're on. They're talking. They're commenting on items. They're offering prices. It's a continuous, ongoing. The app is alive. Yes. Women here need to also get into this. They need to start looking at it that way, where it's an everyday thing. I have enough clothes that every few weeks there's clothes that I want to remove from my wardrobe because I don't want to overfill the place, because then I won't find anything to wear.
Yes, yes.
So I want to get them out of the way. All you have to do is take a picture of yourself wearing them some moment, keep it in your phone, and when you're ready to sell them, upload them on the app. When it sells, take it out and get it shipped. Amazing. We have our own bags. You put them in there, we airtight close them, and they're done. That's it.
Amazing.
Yeah. So I think they just need to evolve to this.
Are you working on any other projects?
Well, these two are the main ones at the moment. We just also developed recently a website called, very simple name, Cars and Properties. This is a website platform that can easily go worldwide. What we saw was missing here in the market for properties and in Dubai is that there's no platform that has both cars and properties. And those are two buy and sell commodities all over the world that anybody in any part of the world wants to go and buy somewhere else. So what we're trying to do with it is add people from Florida, like someone from Florida selling a property or a car can get in touch with somebody in Dubai.
Wow.
It's like we're trying to...
So it's almost the same logarithms as the CDs, right?
Yeah.
It's just the cars and the
properties. It's basically what you do is, if you're a company, you can upload all your properties onto the website. You can upload cars if you're a car company.
Yes.
And then what we want to do is eventually market it so that anybody in the world can see it. So wherever they are, they can see if they want a property in Dubai, or that somebody wants a car somewhere else. It's basically a way to kind of expand everybody's horizons. They don't have to look in that country's specific
You see,
law.
one of your challenges is that there's such new things. You need very deep pockets.
Yeah.
Because if you're riding in the back of, let's say, in the old days, your IBM and your Compaq or your Dell, and you compete, people are already buying laptops and PCs. But now you bring in laptop, there is no laptop.
Yeah.
So you got to start influencing people to make your products and services a habitual thing.
Yes.
It's so new, and it can be a very costly thing.
Yes, it is. And the thing is also...
And you got 3 projects at the same time launched.
The thing is, when something's new and it's a little bit ahead of its time, just getting people to understand how to do it is a little bit of a challenge. Sure. And then the cost of doing everything in-house, having your own, like so far, I've self-financed myself because I thoroughly believe in this work. Yes. I believe in it so much that I will keep putting in until I know I'm going to achieve
Make
it to where I want to make it. I am looking into preparing my company, the Les Femmes, first for a Series A funding. It's getting prepared for that.
Yes.
So I'm really optimistic. I feel that I can.
Have you raised money before?
No,
projects?
I'm completely new in this whole
I
thing.
hated it, and I procrastinated the program until I didn't go and approach anyone, because I've always self-financed my own businesses.
Yes.
Never borrowed money.
My father, he self-financed an entire factory and he didn't want any loans on it. He was very old school. Getting out of that thought process for me was very difficult.
Yes.
I always told my husband, no, we're not going to take this loan for our other company. We're not going to do this. And we always make our decisions together. My husband is an amazing man. He's like the ideal husband. So he's like, he will take. We make these business decisions together.
Wow.
Yeah. So I have this stigma attached to certain things because of my upbringing. But I feel that the things have changed. You have to go with the whole new world, the new development of the world. You can't self-finance things anymore.
Amazing.
You have to have that.
If you could give 3 bits of advice to our listeners who are looking at opening their own businesses, what would those top 3 advice be?
First of all, start small. Don't try to go in with something with guns blazing. That's my first tip. Just start very, very small and be very hands-on with it when you're doing it. Do it yourself first, then slowly grow into the next thing. The second thing is don't do the opposite, basically. Keep procrastinating. Don't keep looking for reasons why you shouldn't do something.
Take action. Do it.
Just decide you want to do something and start doing it. Start small. Don't think, oh, I want to do this big thing and I'm never going to I have to wait this long, or I have to make this much.
This amount of money to do it.
Yeah, just start slow and small and work from there.
And that way you get best customer feedback, because you keep changing as you grow.
And you might even realize that maybe you want to change it. You want to do something else with it. And don't be afraid of your idea changing. It could change for you. And the third thing is don't keep waiting for the right moment. There is no right moment. There's no moment. If I just had a baby and I'm delivering a baby and I'm still working, it works. You can actually do it. It's not as hard as you think it is. That's my advice to women in general, that it's not hard. If you just tell yourself that you're going to do it, you will do it in the best way you can. Stop looking for that perfect moment and that perfect situation. It's not ever going to come. You just have to go do it.
What I find is with my guests is there's this mental pattern of positivity of just, it's going to work.
Yeah.
Just do it, it will work. I'll make it work. Is that inner confidence and belief and passion and not being afraid of rejection or obstacles, I call it.
I mean, I don't think women in general should be afraid of failure.
Do you think it's something you're born with, or something that you actually work on?
I think you can just work on it. It comes with, some women it comes, naturally. Some it comes with time.
Yes.
Some people with experience. But I feel that if you want to take advice from somebody and somebody tells you this, you should just believe it. Like, I have a lot of people I know, and they just keep thinking about things and planning, and they keep planning and planning and planning. And I only have one question, and that is, why don't you just start now?
Yes.
Just go
and
ahead
they're
and
miserable.
do it.
They're miserable, right? Because they're not doing anything, and frustration sets in.
Amazing potential to do things, but for some reason they won't go and do it.
Amazing.
It's that fear of failure. I guess you shouldn't be afraid of failure. You should just think failure is part of the process. Yeah. So.
Mrs.Sadia, thank you.
Thank you so much.
We've been more than 45 minutes, right?
No
It's gone.
way.
Yeah,
Seriously?
hasn't it gone quick?
Yeah.
I loved every second of it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I would love to have you back here, maybe a year and a half down the line.
Sure.
And then share
I
your
hope things look
progress.
better then.
No, definitely.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
And I've learned so much about Les Femmes as well. Now, if anybody wants to get in touch with you, how do they do that? I've got female listeners. They want to maybe get in touch with you, direct message you, or even join Les Femmes.
I think I think on it, what would you advise? Would you think how?
I would say Les
what
Femmes
should
is
I do?
good.
Should I
Yeah,
just
they
give
can go
them
on the Les
Les
Femmes
Femmes
forum.
email
Yeah,
or,
yeah. By the way, at the bottom of this, we'll have subtitles.
Yeah, okay.
And then we will print off the
No, we can give
links.
our email. We can give my phone number too. I don't mind. My WhatsApp. I have a Les Femmes WhatsApp as well. We could just
If
do
you
both.
don't
yeah.
mind sharing it, would that be
Yeah,
okay?
yeah. I can.
Sharing it
send
now. You can share
Oh.
it now.
Are we on recording? Okay.
We're recording
Oh,
it, yeah?
we still are. Okay. I
Yes,
thought
yes.
we were
No,
done.
we're recording. No, I'll say goodbye.
Yeah. So yes, they could. They can get in touch with social at lefemme.net, or they can reach me on WhatsApp as well. Let me just give you the Les Femmes WhatsApp number. That might take me a minute. You might have to
Don't worry.
edit that.
No, don't worry. We actually try not to edit anything because it's natural.
Okay, that's good. Well, then I'm looking for the number right now.
It's fine, no problem.
Okay, so yeah, Les Femmes WhatsApp, official WhatsApp number is 054-500-0858.
Done.
Yeah, that's our number for WhatsApp. And then social at lefemme.net is our email. And of course, even easier is to just go on the app and message Les Femmes.
LESFEMMES.
Yes.
Amazing.
Yeah. And,
Absolute honor and absolute pleasure having you here. Thank you for making
Thank
such
you.
short notice
Thank
as well.
you. Thank you so much. Thank you. It's a
We should
pleasure.
be able to. Thank you. We should be able to go live in about 2-3 weeks, right? And
Yeah.
then we'll let you know the
Okay.
edited version. We'll
Yes.
send it out as teasers, and then
Okay.
the audience will find out.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
And we'll send you a copy of this as well, so maybe you can promote it in your
We
own
would
website.
love to. That would be the best thing for us. We'll promote it on the app. We'll promote it on our Instagram, etc.
Pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you
Pleasure.
so much.
First time we met face to face, so
Yes,
thank
yes.
you very much.
Instead
and
of
I
our
wish you-
Zoom meetings.
Please give my regards to your husband.
Thank you.
I respect him very, very much.
Thank
so,
you, thank you.
And your beautiful kids as
Thanks.
well.
And regard to you and your family. Your
Thank
son
you.
was amazing that day too in our meeting. Thank you so much.
Honored. Thank you again. Look forward to seeing you soon.
You too.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.